doing a review for my favorite show, The 100. This would be Season 3, Episode 11, entitled Nevermore. So I did like tonight's episode. I thought it was very simple, so I'll give a simple synopsis. Basically, they were trying to get the chip out of Raven. That was all what tonight's episode was about. No, plots of what's going on in Polis. So, like I said, they're trying to get the chip out of Raven. Jasper and Clark, they're in that rover, that land vehicle. They drive up to the cave. They tell everyone what's going on. And we need to get a bracelet. Jasper brings this up, and of course, Clark's like, oh, I know where we can get one. So they go back to the trading post, where we meet up with Neela, the one chick who worked there, who hooked up with Clark that one time. And Neela's not too happy to see them. Sky Crew killed her father, Bellamy and Pike, when they did the massacre. Her father was there. It's one of the soldiers who got slaughtered, so she doesn't like them. But Bellamy puts a gun to her head. They move in. Clark explains the things to Neela. They take Raven to the back. So, of course, Raven wakes up and Allie's telling her to find out where she's at. She starts freaking out and hurting herself. That's a kind of a standard thing with Raven. Always in pain, that one. Of course, this episode was no exception at all, where she dislocated her shoulder at one point, trying to unhook herself. That was quite the image to take in. If you're going to hurt someone, does it always have to be Raven or Murphy, to be tortured or, self-mutilation? Pick on someone else for once, Bellamy maybe, He hasn't really been into that much pain. He got the shit beat out of him last week. Best scene ever. But, aside from that, maybe knock him around a little more. So they're trying to discuss how they can get this chip out of Raven. And Monty's like, well, we're going to need some kind of electromagnetic. So him and Octavia take off to get that. Meanwhile, everyone's going to stay around with, the possessed Raven. She starts going into full exorcist mode, starts just ragging on people left and right. Clark gets in there, she reminds her, she's like, well, how do you feel about Wells' death? That's your fault, and Finn's death's your fault, and your father's death is your fault. And of course, Clark just goes crazy. Says, hey, we're going to fry you, Allie. So that gives them a clue as to where Monty and Octavia went. And, as they're waiting, for Octavia and Monty to get back, Raven keeps up the exorcist thing, talking shit to people. And she starts talking to Jasper. He's like, you're a loser. You lost your girlfriend. You used to take everyone's drugs. And then she's talking to Bellamy. He's like, you're responsible for all these deaths, too. All the ones on the station because you broke my radio. And Mount Weather and the 300 you killed. You're a piece of shit. And, of course, Bellamy's trying to hold it back. And, of course, the one chick finds out that Bellamy was part of the massacre, so she's not too happy. She rushes in and, of course, gives away that they're at the trading post. Normally I don't really like the possessed exorcist shit-talker type trope. And there is a trope where someone gets possessed by some demon and they're talking shit to people, telling them, your life's screwed up, you're a loser, and just blah, 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 blah. It doesn't come off as demonic. It comes off as, annoying. It's like they've taken the control of someone's body so they can be a giant douche. But I thought they did pretty good in this show with, Raven being able to... what I love best about that, it wasn't Allie. When she first starts talking, trying to, lure Clark in, I'm thinking, it's Allie talking about all the people who Clark killed. Just like she wiped out most of human civilization at one point. But then you realize, no, it's Raven. It's Raven talking all the shit. And what I love best is, Allie gives her a look at one point, and she's like, damn, this bitch is cold. That was, Allie's look when Raven was doing her shtick. That was so... I thought that was the funniest thing. The only gripe I had with that, the Exorcist shit talking, was, she did it to people whose stories already knew. Jasper, he's depressed, his girlfriend is dead, and he became a drunk and a drug addict. Clark killed all these people. Bellamy's responsible for all these people. It's like, there were other people like Harper and Miller and his boyfriend. They all still with them. I like them to take, guard, and then Raven started talking shit about them. We could have found out more about Miller, his boyfriend, Brian, I think it is, and Harper. Like, what's their backstory? How did they become the 100? I think they've gone into Miller, why he got kicked off. He was a thief. But, what was Harper's story? If Raven knew it, she could have talked shit about that. That would have been interesting. So while that was all going on, I mentioned that Monty and Octavia went out to find some electromagnet from the drop ship. And of course, Allie had found out about this. So as they're going there, Monty's talking to Octavia, and Octavia was talking about plans about just leaving everyone behind. Lincoln's dead. She can't stand Bellamy. She wants to take off. And Monty was trying to talk her back into staying with the group. She's like, I'm not with Sky Crew. I'm not with the Ark. I'm not with the Grounders anymore because I got kicked out of the group. What am I? And Monty's like, you're one of the 100. I thought that was very touching. They don't call themselves the 100. I think this might have been the first time they've actually referred to themselves as 100, but Monty's trying to convince her to stay. And then, a little later, after Monty gets the electromagnet thing from the dropship, he's walking out and he sees, he can't find Octavia. And I'm thinking, oh, you know where this is going. That the Arkers have caught up with him. They send his mother. It didn't take long for Monty to figure out that she had taken the chip. He's like, what was Dad's favorite color? Asking her questions about that she should have known the answer to, and she didn't. And then she starts, beating the crap out of Monty, telling him she's not going to stop until he takes the chip. Octavia comes in to save her. Save him, save Monty. And as she's fighting with Monty's mom, Octavia's, was going to knife her. And Monty's like, no, don't do that. This distracts Octavia, gives Monty's mom the upper hand. Of course, Monty's mom might be old, but she was with the farm station crew, so she can throw down. Having had to deal with the Ice Nation, she's pretty militant. So she knocks Octavia to the ground, puts a knife to her throat, and then Monty pulls out his gun to stop his mother. Shoots her in the shoulder. It's not enough to stop her, and then he had to put her down. Damn this show. Well, I wanted Monty to have a storyline, so I guess killing his mother is his storyline. I still think they should have gone with the gold mine. Monty goes out, and now maybe he doesn't want to be a part of it all because he killed his mother, so he can help save all these people. So he takes off with Octavia. Montavia. I'm not expecting it this season, but maybe next season. Monty and Octavia, through their own personal losses, come together. Montavia. And they go out and they find a gold mine. That's a storyline. Monty could use his own storyline. Just saying. So Monty and Octavia, they get back. They hook up the thingamajig that's going to get the chip out of Raven. Allie starts having Raven hurt herself even more, but they use the thingamajig and it fries the chip. And then Clark's like, oh, we could just cut it out of her neck. So they do that, and the chip's already melted. So Raven's back. That was cool. So then, Raven, I did think it was a little unrealistic how happy she was to be back. She's like, ooh, I've never been so glad to be in so much pain. It's like, really? You dislocated your shoulder. Although, given as many times as they've hurt Raven, I guess this time she's got a tolerance for it. He's like, God, nah. And of course, the end of the episode is they take off because Allie's coming to get them. And that was it for the night's episode. I did like it. It was very simple. One thing I didn't mention that I just realized now is he had Jasper not liking Clark. Thought that was interesting. That'll be interesting to follow for the rest of the season. Is he ever going to forgive her or not? And now on to the next episode, the preview that they showed for that. Yeah, I usually don't talk about the previews for the next episode in the reviews that I do. It just doesn't seem the point. But I thought it was an interesting enough preview that I'm going to make some predictions on what I think in the next episode. So, if you don't want to know, if you're one of those people that tries to avoid the previews and don't want any spoilers, now would be a good time to clock out of this one. But anyway, for those of you who did see the preview, you see that they go back to Arcadia, which is all empty. Everyone's taken off to somewhere. Who knows where? That's not what I'm speculating about. But as they're doing it, you see that they're not alone. And apparently there's someone in the shadows hunting them down. At one point you see them closing in on Harper. And I'm like, oh no. No, please not Harper. Who is it? It looks like a grounder. But here's what I'm thinking. I think it's Emerson. The last mountain man who Clark had a chance to kill but said, nope, banish you. I think that's who it's going to be. There are some other possibilities. It could be Rowan because he is looking for Clark. It could also be someone new. Don't know what they'd be doing there. I mean, it just looks like another grounder. So who's this person? Or, maybe Wick. I don't see Wick. I was wondering why that guy's on the show. I looked it up. Yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing Wick for a while or at all. But that's who my prediction is. I think it's going to be Emerson. Maybe he kills Harper, maybe he doesn't. I hope he doesn't. I like Harper. If Octavia doesn't ship, can we at least get Marper? But yeah, so we'll see what happens next week.